Alrighty, guys, welcome back. Part 5, Last of Us Part 1, Left Behind. So, for starters, there are going to be 3 encounters, and I'm going to let you guys know ahead of time, I hate all 3 of these encounters. They all suck, I hate them, they all suck, and did I not mention I hate them? Well, now you don't know. Okay, so, I'm going to carefully explain the first 2 encounters and why they play a crucial role in the third encounter. So, the third encounter is the worst encounter I've probably ever played in my life. I probably am over-exaggerating that, but I hate every encounter in this game. um, so, the first 2 encounters, you're going to want to do as stealthily as you can, by using as little ammo if you do end up using ammo. It's okay if you use your brick or your bottle. There will be more to find later on in the third section. So you're completely fine on your bricks and your bottles. Once we get to each section, I'm going to carefully explain how you're going to do this and how later on the infected even benefit these 2 encounters. They benefit it so much to the point where you don't actually have to kill a single enemy soul. I'm pretty sure in the second encounter I did not kill a single enemy. But yeah, these first 2 aren't really too bad. I don't like them, but the third one is a nightmare, and I died. I did die once. I will not lie, I did die once. But I died to a stupid mistake that involved me throwing a Molotov on the ground. Before I start explaining everything though, thought I'd let you guys know again. We are currently going to have a debate in a few minutes based upon whether you guys choose for me to play The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on Survivor or Grounded, which I'm going to say this again. Most of you guys are going to pick Grounded because I know you don't like me. You look pretty mean to me. I don't like it. Yeah, you guys get to choose whether I survive or suffer. And last thing I'm going to say, like I always say in all my videos, if you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. I will get back to you within a few hours if I can. If I don't get back to you anytime soon during the day, it's just because I'm at school or I'm either at work. So, this first section, I am going to start talking over here as soon as we get through it. There is a collectible over here to the right of the room. I saw the room and I ignored it and I'm like, wait, okay, maybe there might be something in here. But the game doesn't like you, and it doesn't like me either. They will always do everything in their power to not give you anything, which is why we saved our resources from the previous encounters.
Run! Shit! Oh, shit! What the hell? Relax. What the hell are we doing here? Who gives a fuck about that old man and a little girl?
Okay, guys, so this is the first encounter. This encounter is really not too bad as long as you play it correctly. So, first what you're going to want to do is take out this guy right here with your bow. The reason why you want to get rid of him as quick as you can is because he is the most annoying in the room. They all have guns, but the way he roams around, it's almost near impossible to stealth this whole section if you try to sneak up on everyone. By that, I mean you sneak up with your knife. The way he roams around, you're not going to be able to take out the other 2 with your knife. I promise you, you won't. So, you're going to have a guard behind you and a guard in front of you. The reason why I took this little path is to make sure he saw me slightly. That way I can sneak over in this corner. He starts walking while the guy behind me is guarding the door. This guy is going to come up and check with his friend, say, oh, do you see anything? And when this guy leaves, you're going to turn around this little shelf and sneak up on the guy in the red. Then what you're going to do is prop up against the door directly in front of you and wait for the guard that's standing at the door entrance to come near, and you just get behind him and stab him with your knife. It's a very simple section, depending on how you play it. So as you see right here, we're going to turn all the way to the right and stab this guy in the back. Very simple. Not too bad at all. If you guys get ammo, that's very good. I didn't get anything because the game doesn't like me. So, you're going to have this one guard left. Everything is completely fine. What you're going to do is sneak up precautiously. If you have patience, what I did, I just waited for him to turn around. As you see, he turned around pretty quick. So all you're going to do is go up against this door. Also, feel free to grab the brick to your left. Go up against this door, and just wait. I poked around the corner just to see where he was, but there was no chance I was going to get behind him because he turns around really quickly. So all you're going to do, if he catches you, make sure you have the brick in your hand. If you feel like you can't get the knife kill, just keep the brick in your hand. But what you're going to do is hide behind this door and spam triangle. As soon as you get the knife prompt, make sure you press it, and you're all good. This encounter is really not too bad. It can be tricky. The only reason why is because if you don't get rid of that first guard, you're going to have a little bit of a problem. It's quite annoying. I don't like the way he roams around. If he roams around, if you leave him alive, it's a nightmare. Also, feel free and make sure you get that snack. That snack boosts your health a little bit. As you see so far, we have not used health kits. But yeah, I'm going to come back in the second encounter and explain what you do, because the second encounter is way more confusing. And I only say that because there is a decent amount of enemies. However, the infected are going to play a nice role in this, which is why I'm going to show you this.
Which way?
It's fucking freezing in here. Last surviving member of my crew. And I'm gonna die in an air duct.
Alrighty guys, so now we're on the second encounter. This is going to be two different parts. So, the first part is just going to involve these 5 enemies. You're going to have 3 infected and 2 enemies. 2 clickers, 1 runner. What you're going to do is throw a brick in the middle that alerts the 2 enemies in the back, and the runner and the 2 clickers. As soon as you throw that, they will all be aggroed against the enemies. And there is a 80 to 90% chance that they will mostly end up killing both the enemies, and you'll have to deal with either 1 clicker and 1 runner, or both clickers, or just the runner. It varies, but most of the time both of the enemies will die because it's uneven odds. It's 3 infected and 2 enemies. But most likely they will be dead, but you're going to end up being found by the infected. So once you do find them, if the enemies are not near you, try to get rid of some of the infected. This one ended up finding me, and I don't know how. But throw your brick, don't use your ammo, get rid of this clicker. And there's going to be a runner that also found me. He's going to chase me in a second. But make sure you get that brick and get a bottle. As you see, this runner just came after me. So what you're going to do is just run. Those other 2 enemies have died due to that one other clicker. And what's kind of amazing is the fact that the runner was actually the one that killed both of them for me. I was like, wait, what? The clicker ended up dying. It was kind of funny. But make sure you get the brick in the bottle here, and as soon as you grab that bottle, throw it at the runner, knife him, and you're done. Very simple. That's the end of the first part in the second encounter. Now, the second part is where it gets kind of confusing, and I'm going to digress in this in a couple of ways, because you have two different ways that are very helpful depending on how you do it, but it could end up in you getting shot the second way, which is why I kind of recommend you choose the way that I'm going to do. It's a little bit slower, but I do strongly recommend it because you do not take damage. But the way you do it, if you don't do it correctly, you might not have a brick or bottle. I chose to use my last arrow for it, but I'm going to explain as soon as we get to it.
Okay.
Okay, so what you're going to want to do is go into this room over here. This is on your right side instead of going through the middle. You're going to have 2 infected here. There's a total of 4. There's going to be a runner and a clicker, and then another runner, and then a clicker behind a wall. So what you're going to do, knife the runner, and then knife the clicker. You're going to get rid of these. Now, there is a runner here, but runners can see, which is why we're going to get rid of it. There is a couple ways you can do this, which is why I said before that there's 2 different ways, and you leave this runner alive, but I'm going to take this the easier route. Now, I purposely left a clicker here because there's a clicker behind this wall, like directly in front of me through this door. On the left side, he's hiding. You're going to throw a brick through this window. That's going to alert the clicker and get him distracted to the enemies to your left, therefore making this much, much easier for you. You're only going to have to end up killing at minimum 2 enemies, and that's not being the clicker, because the clicker keeps these guys distracted. See how far they're going back? They're all the way back there, and they're continuing to push back. There's only going to be 1 enemy, most likely, that's going to be up in the front still, but he's going to also be behind cover. I'm looking back here to find a brick or a bottle, but you're going to find one in the next room, so it doesn't matter. I'm just making sure, like, if there's any supplies in here, because, like I said, the last encounter is the most painful encounter that I will ever want to play. And it's not even that bad, it's just you're playing as Ellie, and I'm not trying to be offensive to her in Left Behind, but she can't fight. The knife does pipsqueak damage. You get hit most of the time. So you understand. So it's just this enemy here. You can stealth kill him and run, but you might have a chance of getting shot because it makes noise, because Ellie is not really too silent with her knife. But if you're like near like 2 people next to each other, that's why it's recommended that you just try to get rid of this one. Once you get rid of this one, you are literally it. That's it. The whole second section is done. It's not hard, and you kind of see why I said I don't like this section. It's just because some steps like that lead into it, and the ways you can take it, it just gets confusing. That's why I don't really like a lot of these encounters. But the last encounter I am going to explain very, very hectically, because it is so agonizing. I died on here once. But the part that you're not going to like is I've tried to do this fully stealthily. I've tried. It's just too much. My little brain cannot handle it. But there is 2 parts also in it, but they're like tied back to back in the same area. The only thing you're not really going to like is the fact that you can get shot from behind. So yeah, I'm going to voice over what you're going to do, and yeah. So, first, to start this off, all you're going to do is take that arrow. I missed it from behind me, but there is a arrow. Swap your shoulder while you're aiming and keep an eye out on the guard to your left. So what you're going to do is move up, switch your shoulder, aim this bow at this guy right here. And as soon as you take him out, rush him, because there's going to be an enemy that's going to spawn directly in front of him.
Ellie, you gotta do something.
Yeah, I think it's starting to kill. Keep at it.
Shit. Shit.
Okay, as you can see, there is an enemy and another enemy guarding this one. These enemies can unlock this door if you're not quick enough. So what you're going to want to do is try to take care of the ones that are attacking the door, because there is a time limit to this door. From what I remember, if you take too long, the enemies will bust through the door and kill Joel. It's simple as that. So what you're going to want to do is keep all precaution away from the enemies of that door. If you can get rid of all the enemies of that door, they'll stay suspicious of the door and keep trying to come back. So this is like kind of a problem, because it kind of keeps you on your toes, and you don't really know, because you can get snuck up on by an enemy behind you. You can get snuck up on at any point. So you're going to see all the enemies are going to start coming down here, and this is where this kind of becomes a problem. See? Now, the next enemy is on that locked door. I use my brick. You want to keep these enemies off that door no matter what. It is annoying. They keep coming back. You kind of want them bunched up in a group, but at the same time you don't. So what I'm going to do is try to get rid of one of these guys with my bow. It's kind of tricky considering they're each walking away, but as you see, headshot. We're done. Now, we don't have any more of a brick. We don't have any more arrows. Now, this is where it kind of begins to get a little bit confusing. You got 2 enemies left. One's walking away. You want to sneak up. You can't see the other enemy. 1, you don't have listen mode. 2, he's blocked behind a window that isn't very clear. So he's behind there. So what you're going to do is take care of him. And then you're going to have to deal with the enemy directly to your right. As you see, I got shot at. So now there's an ambush. This is the part where you can get snuck up on at any point. As you see, I messed up here. I missed my 3rd shot. This is where your ammo becomes a very important asset in this. It goes by so fast. 3 bullets it takes for an enemy most of the time. 3 bullets. Make your shots count. I try to re-enter stealth. I check to see if there's any enemies to my left. And I try to aim for headshots. Most likely there's going to be very few enemies. I'm not sure if there was any. That had a helmet, but you mostly want to aim for headshots. Headshots are going to be your best friend in this. As you see, I found a little bottle. And the bottles are your best friends. So there's going to be an enemy directly coming up over here on me. This is going to be probably different for you guys. I'm not sure if you guys are going to have the same thing as me, like with enemies, like the way they're like spawning. But for me, I just kept getting snuck up on every time I came down here. I got shot in my back. That's why all my health kits are gone. You're going to see, like, wow. This is the last section in the game. You're not going to have to deal with too many, but it's just, like, it's kind of hard to get through it. As you see, this is the last enemy.
That's that.
Make sure you loot up in this section, because this section can be quite annoying. But as you see, there's not really any supplies. There's not really anything you could do here. It's not this section that's a pain in the butt. The first one that we just did, that's in this last section of the game. It's not that bad. It's the next section that makes this a nightmare. You're gonna get shot by a couple enemies up on a ladder. What you're gonna do, most likely, because this is what I tried to do, I got shot. So I tried to book it. I literally, I couldn't. I didn't want to deal with those enemies, so I tried to book it. I book it straight in here. There is an enemy right in front of me. I tried to hide. As soon as I got here, they start darting down the stairs, and once I turn around, it's like, dude, I thought I was okay. I'm like wondering what is happening. I hear there's a lot of enemies upstairs. I'm just like super confused. They almost see you. In this section, you could have like used a Molotov or something. I end up using my Molotov at the very end, but try to pick these enemies off. As you see, I missed my shot. I'm like, what? It didn't insta-kill him, it's because I didn't charge the bow. But as you see, I get shot right in my back. This is the part that gets annoying. I almost die here. I headshot one dude, take him out, and I run upstairs as quick as possible. I don't want to risk getting shot again. This is why you need those health kits here. If you get shot or mess up, because this part is really hard to get through if you don't have health kits. If you have one health kit, good luck, dude. If you don't have any, then my best wishes. I don't know if you have horrible aim and you're playing on grounded or something, you're not getting through this. But yeah, if you play this as quickly, not as quickly, but you play this kind of patiently, waiting for the enemies, how they play, you slowly pick them off one by one, and you will soon but surely get through this section. All I did was come out of cover, I came around, took an enemy out. I missed my first shot there, but I got rid of the other one. I made sure there was another enemy down here, but this one dropped the hunting rifle, and the hunting rifle is one-shot kills on here. But as you see, you pick enemies off, you run away, and I get shot here again. I didn't even see where I got shot again, but that's why we have that second health kit. But yeah, this section is not really bad. It's nowhere near bad at all. It's not bad. As you see, we're gonna get rid of this guy right here. There's a couple. As you see, there's two. And then, as soon as you kill a certain amount, there's gonna be infected. You see, it all kind of plays in with each other, and it helps you a lot in the way, but it's like at the same time you gotta deal with a bunch of enemies. So my best bet to tell you here is just try to play this as patient as you can, picking up enemy by enemy. And slowly but surely you will get through this and use my shots again. I have to take out this clicker too, and I got lucky with a headshot. Take him out, and I've just got infected, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, slowly but surely you will get through this. Like I said again, if you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments. This part, there's certain encounters I just don't like. I had enough to craft another health kit. And make sure this clicker doesn't kill you. He will die from the Molotov. But, yeah, like I said again, if you have any questions, I'm glad to help. Just let me know in the comments. And, yeah, that's the end of this part. And we have one more part, but I'm not really going to talk through it. And I will show you the end credits of the game. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later.
You better be alive, Joel.